Today I'm sharing 3 skirts. I've added a placket to the front of them. They're very comfortable, easy, flat front, elasticated back. They can also be shorts. I've already made a lot of these before. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and I have 3 new makes to share. I actually sewed them up in pretty much 1.5 days, taking my time, being relaxed about it. I had to print the pattern all over again and start from scratch because the pattern I'd used in the previous versions is not my size anymore, so basically starting all over again, and I'm fine with that. And what I'm talking about is the Tinley bottoms from Love Notions. This can either be a skirt or shorts. You can make straight shorts, full shorts that look like a skirt. It's like a half circle skirt look, but looking like shorts. You can do the same type of skirt or do a straight skirt. All of them have slanted pocket openings, a flat front elasticated back waist finish that you just pull up. I think it's really nice. Out of the 4 options in this pattern, the only one I haven't made is the full skirt. This is the pattern that is the feature Friday for today, which means it's over 50% off. You can get it for a really great price. I think it's great value, and you can have really, really comfy bottoms for the hot weather. I'm still in hot weather, although I'm in full autumn. It just doesn't seem real. But I know the winter's going to come up on me at some point, and you will see me wearing long sleeve things eventually, but it still hasn't happened. I'll leave you my affiliate link in the description box and at the top of the comment section. If you click on it, you don't pay anything extra for using it. It's just that the designer will bring me back a small commission, and that supports the work that I do here on YouTube. I'll also leave you a playlist with all my Tinley bottoms content because I have a lot of content around it. You can see how to sew it. Before I show you my 3 new versions that I've really enjoyed sewing, let me tell you why I've decided on these fabrics. They're basically to complete sets. Now, there was a recent sale at Love Notions, and I made special content all around sets that week. And it got me really, really inspired and motivated. And when I was preparing for that content, I made a whole list of things. I went to look at my stash. I went to see what type of fabrics I had to complete more sets. And it was a really fun process for me to have right there. I knew that there were some things that I was going to complete in the future. And that's what's going on with these Tinley skirts. I've chosen to make all skirts, all straight skirts. And you're going to see in the styling how these are going to be sets, but they're also going to be super versatile, and I could style them in other ways. That was my vision. That's why I chose these fabrics. And that's one thing I forgot to mention about this pattern, that you can use wovens and knits. You can use lots and lots of fabrics. But let's go down memory lane, and I'm going to show you very quickly my previous versions so you can get some inspiration. The first one is one you've seen a lot. It's one of my most worn shorts, I have to say. And it's a stripy fabric, red, white, and black. Gotta love that. I actually shortened it, and I had to alter all of these previous versions I've made to fit me right now because they were not fitting correctly. I'm very glad I can sew and make that happen. So these are a little bit shorter. I've taken them in and they're perfect. They match with one of my Aria shirts. So I do have a set in this one, but I can also style it many other ways. And I absolutely love these pair of shorts. Super lovely. Then I have a skirt in an athletic knit with a really cool swirly black and white print. I love this skirt because it goes with any colorful top that you could ever want. I love that, and it's very comfortable. It's got all the details, it's got the pockets, it's all the same sewing construction, and it's a skirt that I've really enjoyed wearing. I've worn this one a lot, actually, quite a lot. Then I've got some rayon versions, very lightweight rayon. This one is a pair of straight shorts, just like the first pair, only these are a little longer. And these are in the same fabric as one of my ballad blouses, as you can see there. It's part of a set. I really love how that looks together. The fabric print was very, very, very interesting because there were lots of prints within the same print. So it looks like I've used different prints and sort of print matched, but I didn't. It was all in the same print. The comfort here is out of this world. They're so light, buttery soft against your skin. It's like you're not wearing anything, and it's lovely. The next one is also the same type of fabric, this time in a navy with orange print. When I bought this fabric back then, I didn't really know that orange didn't suit me. I knew in some capacity, but not full on. So I would never make anything up here to match my face. But down there, my bottoms, I think it's perfect. This is the full short, so it looks like a skirt. It's really flowy. It's got the pockets. It's got all the details, and it's a really, really lovely pair of shorts.
This is one of my favorite sets ever. I used Farm Rio dead stock fabric for this in a rayon linen blend. The print is just wow, you know. And I've used the Tinley shorts but lengthened them to full length as a hack, and it's lovely. I'm so happy with this one. It's just so striking. The print is everything here.
Is one I made last year in a grey denim. For this one, I added pleats to the front, inspired by the encore skirt, which is another pattern from Love Notions that has those type of pleats. It's also part of a set with one of my Aria shirts. They match, same type of pleats, same type of hack detail. I love, love, love that set. I think it's beautiful. And it's got a lot of me in there. I did add a lot of things to this one, just my creativity, and it was such a fun pattern to have as a base to add to that. Now, the new one is made out of denim. If you've been watching the channel, you know that the bluegrass shirt and dress was released recently. I made a shirt dress and a shirt, a sleeveless version in denim. I actually bought yardage and yardage of these, thinking I'm going to make a denim skirt as well to go with the sleeveless shirt, and I can have another little set. I think it's going to be adorable. Eventually, I'll make shorts and I'll make pants in the same denim, so I can just mix and match all of these. I think it's going to be amazing. So the one thing I wanted to do was add a placket and just some small changes. Let me show you the process of my denim version because it's got a few extra things and it was really fun to do. This is the front of the Tinley skirt. It's cut on the fold, but I want to make mine with a placket. You know, at the top, I'm not going to make the placket functional. This is still going to be a pull-up skirt. I just want the placket as something decorative, but I want it to be a real placket. So I've extended the center front. This line here is the original edge of the pattern that you would place on the fold. Here you can see the little arrows that show you that. So if you just want the shortcut way and you just want to do it, go ahead and add 2 inches. That's what I've done here, but I'll break down why 2 inches. Basically, the center front of the pattern, where the fold would be, that's where the buttonholes are going to be. That's going to be the center of the skirt. But we need excess so that they can overlap because you have a placket. So the excess here is 1/2 inch right there. Then we want the placket to be 1 inch on the inside. And then we want a fold of 3/8 to finish the raw edge. If you add the 1/2 inch, the inch, and the 3/8 of an inch, you basically get 2 inches right here. You don't need to serge this edge. You just fold it in by 3/8. Then you fold in by 1 inch. And that's how the placket is going to look like on the other side, top stitch. What I want to interface is this section here, 1 3/8 of an inch here. So that's what I'm going to interface on the fabric and fold it in, and then it's done. I don't have to sew a separate placket. At the top, I still have paper dangling because I want to draw it to that curve. So I'm going to fold it like it's going to be sewn. The first fold at 3/8, the second fold at 1 inch, like that. And then I'm going to trim that shape that we have there on the top. And then this is going to have a slight little curve that's going to match this perfectly. So this is the front of the skirt. This is the section that has been interfaced. I use the very edge of the selvage, so I have to cut all that fuzz away. But this is what I'm going to use to do my 2 folds, and I'm going to have my button placket right there. Super nice. Pocket entrance. I have stabilized it with fusible stay tape. This is the piece that's going to go sewn on there. It's a very lightweight cotton from one of my husband's shirts. And this is the piece that goes on top. Now it's denim. I wouldn't want the bulk of having 3 layers of denim. So that's why I use the lightweight fabric to go on the inside where it's not going to be seen. Here's my denim Tinley skirt semi-made up. I've got side seams sewn. I've got the pockets in right here. And so it's just an extended skirt. This is the placket area that I'm going to press now. I've done some guide stitches and I've changed the color thread so that I can actually see them from the edge 3/8 and then from that one 1 inch, which is actually just the edge of where I've used the interfacing. So it was super easy to do. So I don't need to be measuring as I go. All I do is fold, see the white thread and press. Super easy, and it's going to end up very neat. So there's the placket, very easy. I am going to remove those stitches though. I did them with a 4.5 stitch length, so they'll come flying off. I've already serged the bottom, ready for the hem, and now I've folded the placket this way, right sides together along that edge that's interfaced. And now I'm going to do this little seam with 5/8 because that's what I'm going to use for the hem later. I'm going to cut some of this away here and then flip. And that's how it finishes at the bottom. And now I'm going to top stitch. One small change I'm making to this version of the Tinley skirt is to add a center back seam. I think denim skirts or linen skirts need a center back seam. I just think without it, it looks strange. So all I did was place my pattern piece, same on the fold. I just offset it by 3/8 of an inch. So I have that excess seam allowance. It's still on the fold, so I don't need to serge that. That's super neat. And so I've just sewn it. I've pressed it to one side and now I'm going to top stitch. In the end, it's going to end up looking like a flat felled seam, but it's not. It's just excess seam allowance that was done right there on the fold of the fabric. This is another presser foot. This has an L on it. It's also a type of blind hem presser foot, but different. When you move this, it moves this edge in or out. So you can actually get whatever seam allowance you want, and it's really helpful. I've set it here to about 1/8 of an inch. I want to do the buttonholes before doing the waistband. It just makes more sense. So from the top here, I've measured 3/4 of an inch down, and that's where I'm going to start the buttonholes. When we sew the waistband, we're going to miss 3/8 of an inch from the seam allowance there. So I want them to start from the very top so we don't have gaping. So I'm doing them the same as I did my bluegrass shirt so that it makes sense. You know, this is a set. So my bluegrass shirt had buttons every 2 inches. So I'm going to do these exactly the same every 2 inches so that it looks pretty continuous going down. So I've got my marks with chalk right here. And now I'm just going to do a whole bunch of buttonholes. I've overlapped the placket section here and I'm just going to do a quick basting stitch to hold it in place. And then the top of my waist is the same as if this was on the fold, and I can go and sew on the waistband. This is my new denim Tinley skirt. It's super pretty. You know, the placket is just for show. It's to match the placket on the shirt. Same distance with the buttonholes. Actually, I use the same buttons. There's no button here. It still keeps the feature of the flat front, elasticated back. It's just that the buttons are there for pretty, and why not? It is a totally functional placket though. If I open this up, it will open up all the way. That's cool. Here I have my pockets. This is the fabric I have on the inside, which is part of my husband's old shirts I use for little details like that. Top stitch the back of the elastic because I've never found an elastic that truly doesn't roll. Even though it might seem like it when you're just wearing the garment over the course of the day, it's all twisting and moving. So I pretty much end up top stitching most elasticated back waistbands. I do have an extra center back seam over here just because I think that looks pretty with denim. And then the rest is the same. It's a little shorter skirt than usual, but it's meant to be a casual skirt. And I did my hem by machine. So really fun make, loved it. It's just the best thing. I love having a denim skirt like this. Here is my new Tinley skirt as a set with my bluegrass shirt that I made just recently. Same denims, same buttonhole distance and same buttons. I think they go together beautiful. This is a shorter skirt, but it's going to be casual and I love that length. It's okay. There you can see the flat front, the slanted pocket openings, and at the back there's an elasticated waistband as part of the feature. I loved adding that button placket. I think it gives the denim a different look. There's also a center back seam on the skirt that you can barely see, but I like that it's there. I think it gives it something extra as well. Here it is paired with my simian top, which is one you would have seen just recently on my channel in the previous episode. Red is always going to go beautiful with denim, of course, and I love how this looks. I think it's really nice. I'm going to really enjoy this denim skirt. I don't have one in this style. I have another type of denim skirt that's more stretch. I think this one's a little more casual, and I love that button placket. I think it was a great addition to it. I love it. This is a size large, and I added 2 inches to the length. The next one is not traditional. You're not going to be expecting this. I made the neck skirt to match a hoodie. You know, I usually don't wear skirts with hoodies, but I do. And this hoodie is sort of special. It's special because of the print. And this is a hoodie that's actually a men's pattern at Love Notions, but I hacked it to be for me. I added a bust stud, I added some shaping and slits on the side. but it's beautiful. I made one for my husband when this pattern was released and one for myself. I knew I had enough Ponte Roma left over to make a skirt, not much for anything else. So ta-da, this is it. I love the print because it looks like it's a wool boucle type of thing, but it's just a print. You know, the Ponte Roma on the other side is just like that. So it's all the same, flat front, the pockets. I used a cotton woven for this part of the pocket, and you know, you can do that, that's fine. And the rest is all the same. Seams are pressed open and serged. It's all very neat, all very comfortable. Again, a shorter skirt. This is hoodie material to wear with, so I expected it to be a little bit shorter. The styling's gonna be super casual. So it's a really lovely skirt. It took no time to make, and I'm super happy to have a non-traditional set. Here is my third Tinley skirt that I made, new Ponte Roma. It's a really nice print. I did put the pockets in this one, and it's really, really beautiful in this print. I love it. I've got a simple black top tucked into the side so you can see the features of the skirt. This is also meant to be a set because I have something that goes with it, but of course sets can always be worn with other things. I use a bright pink cotton on the inside of that pocket. I think that is super cool, and it's saved on the Ponte Roma. Lovely waistband. As always, just pull it up and wear it, super comfortable, but it looks really streamlined on the front. And this was the plan. I always wanted to wear it with my tailgate hoodie that I made last year. This is a men's pattern, but I hacked it to fit me. I added a bust dye and I really love it. I love it in this Ponte print. I think it looks really cool as a set. Not the typical set that you would expect, but it's really cool and casual. I feel like I've rewinded my years a little bit with this set. It's really comfortable and really different, and I can't wait to wear this out in real life. You know, you usually don't wear a skirt with a hoodie, but I will, and I'll be super, super happy. This is an amazing hoodie. I made one for my husband as well, but I really enjoyed tweaking it to make it suit me as well. Love the print here. The colors are everything. The next one is a linen rayon blend, linen 55%, rayon 45. The print is very, very out there. I have already made a pair of glissando pants with this print years ago in 2021, I believe. And I've always had all that yardage there. And yeah, it's pretty tropical and pretty different. It's a very bright pink background with brown tropical details, leaves and everything. White, a little bit of white. The reason I went for it, even though it's a little bright, it's because it's only 3 colors and it's very toned down compared to other tropical prints I've seen. So when we're going into the realms of 4, 5, 6 colors, then I'm a bit shocked, you know, but 3 colors here, it looks really cool. And this is a skirt that's going to be super nice. Now, because there's so much print and so much going on, and because I need the rest of the fabric to make something that you're going to see at the end of the month, I didn't do pockets on this one. So I just cut it all straight here, nothing, no pockets, you know, very simple, just side seams, the waistband and the hem, front and back on the fold. You know, this was super easy to work with, all nice on the inside. And this is going to be an amazing skirt when I pair it with the garment I'm planning to make at the end of the month. There's a concrete plan to make this a set. It's just that it hasn't materialized, but I'm very excited about that. You'll see this again when I make that top that I'm promising for the end of the month. So it's really cool. For now, I can style it with white, with brown, and it's a really cool skirt. I love it. Here's another Tinley skirt I made in this really bright linen rayon blend, pink background with brown tropical print. There's some white in there. That's why I've paired it with this white top. The plan is to make a really amazing top with the same linen. So I'm going to have a set by the end of the month. Because the print is so busy, I didn't do pockets on this one. So it was a pretty easy make. Very easy, same comfortable fit. Then, of course, I can pair it with brown because there's a lot of brown in this print, and I've pulled out my Presto tunic, also from Love Notions. Love the skirt in a little bit of a shorter length. These are meant to be casual. I think it looks really nice with the tunic. I don't feel I need to tuck in at all. I like both of the length of the top and the skirt together. 3 new ones. This is a common occurrence here at Love Notions. I tend to make them quite a few times. You can see they can all look very different. So many different types of fabrics. work for this pattern. You can make skirts and shorts. So with just a single pattern, you can make a lot of garments. I really love that, all the variety that you get with one pattern. So yeah, don't miss out. Grab it for $6. You get an amazing pattern. Hope these inspired you. I'm very excited to have these. And yeah, that's all from me. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you again at Lifting Pins and Needles next week. Bye.